Hello, friends, and welcome to another edition of TXN Sports World. I am your host, Anthony Florio, joined as always by good old MF Michael Fletcher. We are awaiting the presence of Michael Bullock. If he comes in, we will catch him up on what he missed. If not, then we'll hopefully have him back with us tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk. But yeah, started off tonight with our recap of the Major League Baseball Home Run Derby. 2022 T-Mobile Home Run Derby crowned the first-time champ at Dodger Stadium on Monday night when Washington Nationals superstar Juan Soto denied Seattle Mariners standout rookie Julio Rodriguez in a final round featuring a pair of rising stars from the Dominican Republic. Juan Soto, the winner. As the higher seed, Soto got to sit back and watch Rodriguez set the mark to beat with 18 homers, one more than Jose Ramirez posted against him in the first round. Soto started slow again, not hitting a homer until 45 seconds in, but then found another level with 10 homers in a span of 12 swings. Before taking his timeout, he returned still hot and crushed 15 by the end of regulation. Soto quickly got the 4 he needed to lift the crown, tossing his bat after winning the home run derby. At 23 years, 266 days, Soto won just 1 day short of tying Juan Gonzalez as the youngest winner in Derby history. His longest home run was 471 feet. His hardest home run was 111 miles an hour. His average home run distance was 428 feet and had an average home run exit velocity of 106.8. Very interesting. And so I think that was in the final round. So, but we'll get into the first round here in no particular order. It was a 1-8 matchup featuring the number 1 seed Kyle Schwarber of the Philadelphia Phillies against the number 8 seed and sentimental favorite in this home run derby, Albert Pujols of the St. Louis Cardinals. And it was Albert Pujols who came away with the win. The Cardinals legend took the field for his 5th and final home run derby nearly 2 full decades after making the finals in his first derby in 2003, becoming the oldest derby contestant ever at age 42 and the first to participate in a derby in 3 different decades. After hitting 10 home runs in regulation time, Pujols was surrounded by many of his fellow All-Stars at home plate before the start of his 30 seconds of bonus time. He followed that by crushing 3 more home runs in bonus time, finishing with 13, including a long of 434 feet. After Schwarber also hit 13 homers, the 2 sluggers entered a 1-minute tiebreaker, returning to the plate to an ovation from the crowd. Pujols quickly crushed home run number 14 and 6 more after that, giving the machine 20 homers in total. His longest was 434 feet. His hardest was 105 miles an hour. The average distance was 406 feet, and the average exit velocity was 101.5 miles an hour. And he gets the win. So moving on to the next matchup, Juan Soto, the number 4 seed against the number 5 seed, Jose Ramirez of the Cleveland Guardians. And Juan Soto, he started hot, hitting 5 homers in his first 7 swings, including 2 of 440 feet or longer. Had 10 before taking his timeout, putting himself in a great position to advance. Walked it off with his 18th splash just seconds before the end of regulation. In this round, his longest home run was 482 feet. The hardest home run was 113 miles an hour. Average distance, 427 feet. Average exit velocity of 106 miles an hour. In the next round, in the other matchup, the number 2 seed and 2-time defending champion Pete Alonso of the New York Mets, squaring off against MF's guy Ronald Acuna Jr. of the World Series champion Atlanta Braves. And it was Pete Alonso, the man to beat in the competition. Alonso started his quest for a three-peat against an interdivision rival in Acuna, who hit 19 home runs. Alonso was vibing early, bobbing his head to the music that filled Dodger Stadium. His first swing was a 109-mile-an-hour rocket, followed that a few swings later with a massive 480-foot homer, earning an extra minute in a span of 4 homers. Still had some work to do as he only hit 10 home runs before his break. Came back a little sluggish, hitting 3 homers before rattling off 4 straight to bring his total to 17 ahead of bonus time, and Alonso needed only 30 seconds before walking it off with his 20th dinger. His longest home run was 480 feet. Hardest was 113 miles an hour. The average distance, 429 feet. And the exit velocity, 108.3 miles an hour. And in the final first round matchup, it was the number 3 seed Corey Seager of the Texas Rangers against the number 6 seed Julio Rodriguez of the Seattle Mariners. And it was Julio Rodriguez, the Mariners phenom, got the show started in LA with the second most homers in any round by a rookie in Derby history. Swinging a black bat with his nickname J-Rod plastered all over it in Mariner green, Rodriguez crushed a 463-foot shot to left center at Dodger Stadium for the first home run of the Derby. J-Rod heated up fast in his first home run Derby, crushing 14 home runs before calling timeout just over halfway through his round, then adding 11 more to take his total to 25 before bonus time. 7 more homers in bonus time earned Rodriguez a standing ovation from the Dodger Stadium crowd. J-Rod hit 10 homers of 440-plus feet and 6 450-footers. The longest was 463 feet. The hardest was 109 miles an hour. The average distance was 420 feet. And the average exit velocity was 104.4 miles an hour. So the final scores in these first-round matchups. Albert Pujols over Kyle Schwarber, 20-19. Juan Soto over Jose Ramirez, 18-17. Pete Alonso defeating Ronald Acuna Jr., 20-19. And Julio Rodriguez over Corey Seager, 32-24. In the second round, the upset of the second round. Oh my, the upset, as MF said in the call the other night. Normally you hear MF say, "Oh my, the upset" in the NCAA tournament. Well, in this case, he brought it to the home run derby when Julio Rodriguez did the unthinkable and knocked off the odds-on favorite and many people's picks, including mine, to win this home run derby, and that was Pete Alonso. He defeated him 31-23. And Julio Rodriguez, after hitting the 4th most homers in any derby round ever in round 1, Rodriguez had to face the 2-time reigning champion Alonso in the semifinals. The first half of the matchup lived up to the billing as J-Rod put up his second straight 30-homer round, trying to become the 3rd rookie champion in the last 5 home run derbies, along with Alonso himself in 2019 and Aaron Judge of the New York Yankees in 2017. Rodriguez crushed 23 homers in regulation, including a 450-footer. In his minute of bonus time, J-Rod added 8 more for 31 total. Longest was 450 feet. The hardest was 108 miles an hour. Average distance, 410 feet. Exit velocity of 103.5 miles an hour. In the other semifinal, it was Juan Soto defeating Albert Pujols 16-15. Taking on Pujols, a fellow native of Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic, Soto came into the semifinals needing 16 home runs to take down the rejuvenated Pujols and secure his spot in the finals against another Dominican star in Julio Rodriguez. Soto got off to a slow start in the semis, but started to find his swing soon after, hitting 5 more before his break. He added 7 more before his minute of bonus time, needing only 3 homers to win. Soto started his bonus time with a swing and miss, but quickly recovered to swat the final trio of dingers to advance to the finals and knock out his countrymen. In this round, Soto had 459 feet. The hardest was 114 miles an hour. The average distance was 424 feet, and the exit velocity was 106.7. And then in the final round, it was Juan Soto defeating Julio Rodriguez 19-18. And as I mentioned before, he was the higher seed. Soto got to sit back and watch Rodriguez set the tone. He did so with 18, 1 more than Jose Ramirez posted against him in round 1. Soto got out to another slow start. He didn't hit a home run until 45 seconds into it. But then he got his groove, hit 10 homers in a span of 12 swings before he called timeout. Returned still hot, crushed 15 by the end of regulation, and then quickly got the 4 he needed to win the title, tossing his bat after winning the Derby. And he was 1 day shy of tying the great Juan Gonzalez. When Juan Gonzalez won the home run derby in 93, he was the youngest winner in Derby history. I think he was 23 years and 265 days. Soto, 23 years, 266 days. His longest home run was 471 feet. The hardest was 111 miles an hour. The average distance, 428 feet, and the exit velocity of 106.8. Fantastic home run derby. I mean, I can't say it enough. I love this format of the derby. This format of the home run derby is much more fun and entertaining than the old format, even though those derbies were equally fun to watch, back in the 90s and in the 2000s when the great Chris Berman used to call them on ESPN. And, they were all so fun to watch. But this inception of it, I think, is the best ever. And I am hopeful that they'll keep this around for the long haul. And it's always fun. And I'll be honest, I like the home run derby more than the All-Star game itself. I really do. But then again, I feel the same way about the other sports. I mean, in the NHL, when they have the skills competition, I actually like that more than the All-Star game. Same can be said for the NBA when they do All-Star Saturday night. I like All-Star Saturday night just a little more than the game itself. So, great derby. Congratulations, Juan Soto. Although, honestly, there was a small part of me that kind of wanted to see Albert get it. But, it is what it is. He was most certainly the sentimental favorite. And then once he lost, then I was pulling for Rodriguez to win because of how red hot the Mariners have been lately. Winners of 14 in a row going into the All-Star break. And this could be the year they end that long postseason drought. And because they haven't been there since 2001. So, and he's one of the main reasons why they're on this red hot run right now. So we'll see if they can keep it up. But for right now, congratulations, Juan Soto. And congratulations, ESPN, on another fantastic home run derby. Bullock and I, we flipped through it back and forth between that and Monday Night Raw on Monday night. And I gotta be honest, we were a little more invested in the home run derby than Raw, but we still kept our eye on it nonetheless. So not much more to say. Good old MF Michael Fletcher, come on in. Home run derby 2022 in the books. Juan Soto of the Washington Nationals wins it all.
Yeah, and actually, as a matter of fact, I guess I could take a little bit of pride in this. The NL East once again keeps the trophy within the division. From the success that we had a couple of years ago, of course, with Pete Alonso winning it in back-to-back years. Juan Soto of the Washington Nationals wins it and keeps the trophy in the NL East. So the NL East gets a little bit of some pride here to say that, for the last 3 years, they've had the best home run hitter in all of Major League Baseball with it. So obviously, everybody was pulling for Pete Alonso at first because of the fact that he was going for the three-peat. No man has ever won it 3 years in a row. So you had that interesting matchup that they paired him with Ronald Acuna. I thought that was a little bit of an interesting call there. Yes, it was. You had there was a lot of good stuff coming out of that. We were looking for a home run out of the stadium. Unfortunately, we did not get that. We had a couple that were dangerously close to getting out of there. That was going to be out of the stadium. A couple of home runs came dangerously close to being out of the stadium, but unfortunately, it did not. It got to like the back rows, almost near the back of the stadium. But no, that stadium held all the baseballs in there. And yeah, it was a good night. It was a great event. Always enjoyable as always. And like you said, Rodriguez became a star overnight, and he definitely was one of the most talked about guys in there. Juan Soto, definitely a most talked about guy because of the fact that after he turned down that 14-year, $440 million contract, everybody wants him now. Yankees, Mets, Reds, Padres, Dodgers. There's a whole bunch of teams that's looking for him now. So especially after that performance in Home Run Derby, oh yeah, they'll make a move there. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. There's really nothing more to add, and yeah, it was an incredible night. So without a doubt, great way to win it, and on to the All-Star game. So Anthony, it's yours.
All right, MF. The first All-Star game at Dodger Stadium in 42 years featured Clayton Kershaw starting in front of the home fans and appearances from Albert Pujols and Miguel Cabrera. But the final score looked all too familiar. The American League won 3-2 for its 9th straight All-Star victory and 21st in the last 25 Midsummer Classics. The game turned in the 4th inning when Giancarlo Stanton of the New York Yankees and Byron Buxton of the Minnesota Twins delivered back-to-back home runs off the Los Angeles Dodgers' Tony Gonsolin. Neither was cheated with his swing. Stanton's game-tying 2-run shot was a 457-foot blast to left center, longer than any home run hit at Dodger Stadium in the first half of the season. And then Buxton followed with a 425-foot shot down the left field line, the 7th time in All-Star history with back-to-back home runs. Stanton making his first All-Star appearance for the New York Yankees since they acquired him from the Miami Marlins before the 2018 season. Won MVP honors with his first All-Star hit. He had gone 0 for 6 in his previous games. He is now one of 5 players to win a league MVP award, a home run derby, and an All-Star game MVP. Joining, get this lineup, MF, Ken Griffey Jr., Miguel Tejada, Cal Ripken Jr., and Dave Parker. And Stanton is also the 3rd Yankees player to win All-Star MVP, joining Derek Jeter in 2000 at the old Turner Field in Atlanta, and Mariano Rivera in 2013 at Citi Field. And that's and looking at some other notes here. Stanton's Yankees career has been up and down, including missing most of the 19 and 20 seasons with injuries. But he has 24 homers at the break, key part of a deep Yankee team that has a chance, albeit a small one, to beat the franchise record of 114 wins set in 1998. Memorable homecoming for Stanton. Grew up going to Dodger games and attended Notre Dame High School in nearby Sherman Oaks, California. And Stanton's Yankee teammate Nestor Cortez, who pitched a scoreless 6, said he will sometimes stand at shortstop during batting practice. And AL pitchers held National League batters hitless from the 2nd through the 7th innings, just the 4th time in All-Star history. A team went at least 20 at-bats without a hit. Cleveland Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase made his All-Star debut and finished the game off, striking out the Miami Marlins' Garrett Cooper on 3 pitches, fanning the Philadelphia Phillies' Kyle Schwarber on 3 throws, and then blowing a 1-2, 99-mile-an-hour cutter past Jake Cronenworth of the San Diego Padres, just missing an immaculate inning. For Dodgers fans in attendance, however, it was mostly about the chance to see Kershaw start an All-Star game for the first time in his storied career. 9-time All-Star allowed a leadoff single to Shohei Ohtani before picking him off at first base to a roar of the crowd on his way to a scoreless inning. And it was but the game did start with the National League jumping all over Tampa Bay Rays left-hander Shane McClanahan for 2 runs and 4 hits in the bottom of the 1st inning, with the hometown Dodger Mookie Betts singling in the Atlanta Braves Ronald Acuna Jr., who led off with a double, and the St. Louis Cardinals Paul Goldschmidt smashing a 417-foot home run to left center. The Betts hit put the NL up 1-0. The Goldschmidt homer made it 2-0. That was in the bottom of the 1st, and then in the top of the 4th, Stanton hit the 2-run shot, and then Buxton with the winner, and that was all. That was it. So those are all the schematics that I wanted to get out of the way. So with that, MF, this is where we jump in. We do our thing with this. Another All-Star game in the books for us, and maybe not the most entertaining one, but because all the scoring, bottom first, and then top of the fourth, and then that was pretty much everything, and that's all that was needed. But nonetheless, though, hey, your National League may have the World Series and the Home Run Derby titles, but give it up for the American League. 9 consecutive All-Star Game wins, 21 out of the last 25 in the National League. Still looking for their first one since 2012 in Kansas City.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were thinking this could have been the year, especially after that first inning. Clayton Kershaw came out firing early on, dominating in his home park, looking really good. And then, like you said, we had that big matchup at the top of the first, Shohei Ohtani versus Kershaw. Shohei started out really good, but then the unthinkable, the pickoff. We don't ever see that ever happen in the All-Star game. Very rare we see a pickoff.
Or any game for that matter.
Huh?
Or any game for that matter, because every time they go for the pickoff, you always do your infamous back to first.
Yeah.
And then, but it's one of the rare times where you say back to first, and he said, "Oh, he got him."
Yep. And I think and I remember calling that. I did the back to first. I was like, "Oh my, he got him! Shohei Ohtani's been picked off by Clayton Kershaw, one away." And I remember you were like, "Oh my goodness." Well, and yeah, so it was an incredible start. It was a great start for the National League. They got the big out. They got out of the inning, and then, like you said, Ronald Acuna, the fair ball down the line that started it. He got into second. Mookie brought him home, and then Goldschmidt with a monster home run to give him the 2-0 lead and set everything up there. And then, looking good. And then, like you said, the top of the fourth happened, and Stanton, doing what he's been doing all season long for the New York Yankees, getting a monster home run for the American League. And then, like you said, right after that, we had back-to-back home runs, and that's very rare in an all-star game. I think it's the first time I think it's been like ages since we've had back-to-back home runs in an all-star game. So we had that. But like you said, the American League pitching just shut down the National League batters. It didn't matter what it was, who they were. They absolutely were just stymieing the bats of the National League. And you just kind of had a feeling like maybe the NL could get something. They're getting a little bit here, but each time the National League gets a base runner on base, or they got them in scoring position, the American League is like, nope, we're not letting this one through. Because of the fact that, remember, this year they changed the rules. If the game would have been tied after 9 innings, we would have had a home run derby blast off to decide the All-Star game. 3 guys getting 3 swings and a cumulative score. The team that had the most runs after the nine swings wins the game. So, I mean, that would have been very interesting. But the National League just couldn't get that third run home to get us into that, I guess you could say, that mini special event, because I know those fans in LA would have gone bonkers for that. But the American League does win the All-Star game. The streak is still alive, and now Home Run Derby and the game itself next year goes to Seattle and T-Mobile Park. So we're gonna see how that plays out, especially T-Mobile Park. That's a big stadium. Home runs are going to come into a premium. I don't think you're going to see one get knocked out of the stadium, because you got to knock it a long way to get it out of there. So I don't know. That's going to be tough, but we'll see. So Seattle gets it next year. Anthony, it's back to you.
Well, it's going to be back to you, MF, because it's just about time now for what's going to be, because of the fact that you were out last week due to illness, another supersized Big Three basketball recap, which has become a summer staple of TXN Sports World, dating back to last summer when MF first incorporated it. And I don't want to rush MF. I don't know if MF's got his information ready.
I'm ready.
Oh, you are? Okay, great. All right. So with that, I'm going to turn it over now to good old MF, Michael Fletcher, and MF. You got another supersized Big Three basketball recap the last 2 weeks, and get us ready for this week.
Yeah, we got ourselves right now. We got week 4, week 5, and then I'll preview week 6. So week 4 of the Big Three, we started out with Bivouac. They went up against the Triplets. Bivouac knocks off the Triplets by the final score of 50-46 and gave them their first win of the Big Three season. The second game that we had was the Killer Threes going up against the Ghost Ballers. The Killer Threes beats the Ghost Ballers 51-49 in the game of the night. This was an exciting game all the way to the very end. It was a back and forth battle all game long. Third game, Threes Company versus Power. Sorry, Anthony, but the Power beats down Threes Company. Final score 51-33. Oofa, as we would say. Then going into the Saturday slate, or the Sunday slate, I should say, we started off with the Aliens. They knocked off Trilogy. Final score was 50-41. Then the next game was the Three-Headed Monsters. They knock off Enemies 52-48. And then in the final game of the day, it was Tri-State. They went up against the Ball Hogs. Tri-State wins it 50-44. Then in week 5 of the Big Three, we started out with Trilogy. They knocked off Tri-State 51-46. That gives Tri-State a 3-2 record. Then we got Aliens. They won their game 50-37 over Ball Hogs. The Aliens are the number 1 team in the Big Three right now at 4-1. Then we had Threes Company. They went up against the Ghost Ballers. Well, Anthony, time to celebrate. Threes Company dominates the Ghost Ballers 50-36. So they are now 2 wins and 3 losses on the record. Remember, top 4 goes to the playoffs. So the Killer Threes goes up against the Enemies. Killer Threes won the game 51-35. They also now go to 3-2. Then we had Three-Headed Monsters. They went up against Triplets. Three-Headed Monsters wins. They won the game 50-44. Three-Headed Monsters also with the Aliens at 4-1. And then in the final game, Bivouac knocks off Power 50-43. Bivouac 2-3 on the season. Just to give you guys the heads up on the actual records right now, before I give you the preview of the next games, like I said, the top 4 teams automatically plays in the playoff. They go to Atlanta to play in the semifinals. So right now, the top 4 stands as Three-Headed Monsters and Aliens. Both are at 4-1. Three-Headed Monsters, actually, Aliens are the number 1 overall seed because they actually have more points. They have more points than Three-Headed Monsters. So they're ahead because of a scoring difference. Because Aliens have scored 3 more points than Three-Headed Monsters. So Aliens is the number 1 seed. Three-Headed Monsters is the number 2 seed. the number 3 seed, right? And then we got a log jam. 3 teams right now at 3-2. Killer Threes, Tri-State, and Trilogy. But because of point differential, Killer Threes is the number 3 seed. Tri-State is the number 4 seed. And they right now would be in the playoff if the season ends today. It would be Three-Headed Monster versus Tri-State, Aliens versus Killer Threes. They would face off, and then the winner plays the next week in the championship game at Atlanta in State Farm Arena. So that's where that breaks down. For this week's action in the Big Three, that goes down this weekend. So we got three games on Saturday night and 3 on Sunday afternoon. Here we go. Saturday night, starting out at 7 p.m., it will be the Triplets going up against the Ghost Ballers, both teams at 2 and 3. The second game, approximately 8 p.m. Eastern time for this one, it will be Trilogy at 3-2. They go up against the Enemies at 2 and 3. And then to round it out, Anthony, it will be your Three's Company at 2 and 3. They go up against the Ball Hogs, who is at 1 and 4. On Sunday afternoon, the games start out with the Three-Headed Monsters at 4 and 1. They will be playing against the Tri-State at 3 and 2. Game number 2, the Aliens, who are at 4 and 1, they go up against Power. And then in the final game of the week, it will be the Killer Threes at 3 and 2. They go up against Bivouac, who is at 2 and 3. So, Anthony, a lot of excitement going on. We only got 3 weeks left in the regular season. Week 6, week 7, week 8. Then in week 9, that is the playoff. That's when we start with the semifinals. And then the next week is the championship game. Both the semifinals and finals will be held at State Farm Arena in Atlanta, GA. So we're going to the ATL this year for the championship. So back to you as we're done with the Big Three for this week.
All right. Nice to see Three's Company get a win. That was great. And break up Bivouac. Wow. 2 in a row for them. Wow. That's very, very surprising. So we'll see what happens this weekend, and we'll have another Big Three for you next week. So with that being said, let's get into our main event of the evening, which is our recap of the 2022 ESPY Awards that took place last night on ABC. It was hosted by Golden State Warriors Stephen Curry, and the 2022 ESPYs presented by Capital One celebrated the best players, teams, and moments in the world of sports. And here's a complete list of this year's winners who were honored last night at the Dolby Theater in Los Angeles. And I'm going to go from bottom to top. So, all right, here we go. I think we got everything. All right, here we go. Best jockey when it comes to horse racing, that was Jose Ortiz. The best bowler was Kyle Troop. Best female action sports athlete, Eileen Gu for skiing. The male action sports best athlete was Eli Tomac for Supercross. The best NWSL player, Ashley Hatch of the Washington Spirit. The best MLS player was Carlos Vila of LAFC. The best female athlete with a disability, Jessica Long for swimming. And the best male athlete with a disability, Brad Snyder for the para-triathlon. Best female tennis player was Emma Raducanu. And the male The best male tennis player, familiar face, Rafael Nadal. He was the winner in that. Best female golfer was Nelly Korda. Best male golfer was Justin Thomas. Best comeback athlete, Klay Thompson of the Golden State Warriors. And if you notice during his acceptance speech, he showed some love for the late Kobe and Gianna Bryant. Best boxer was Tyson Fury. Best WNBA player, Candace Parker of the Chicago Sky. The best driver was Kyle Larson out of NASCAR. Best NHL player went to Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers. Best female soccer international athlete, Sam Kerr of Chelsea. Best male soccer international athlete, Kylian Mbappe of PSG. Best male Olympian, Caleb Dressel for swimming. And the best female Olympian, Katie Ledecky, also of swimming. The best WWE moment, Cody Rhodes, his surprise and epic return to WWE at WrestleMania 38 back in April, which, let's be realistic, was the moment of that show. Best male athlete overall, Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. The best play went to Megan Rapinoe's unbelievable corner kick goal. Best record-breaking performance, Stephen Curry when he surpassed Ray Allen for the most three-pointers made in NBA history. Best female athlete overall, second win of the night for Katie Ledecky. Best team went to the 2022 NBA champion Golden State Warriors. Best championship performance, Cooper Kupp of the Los Angeles Rams, his performance in Super Bowl 56, instrumental in leading the Rams to the Super Bowl win over the Cincinnati Bengals in February. Best game, as if there was any doubt. Of course, it was the greatest NFL playoff game in any round whatsoever. The epic AFC divisional playoff, the Kansas City Chiefs and the Buffalo Bills in Arrowhead. Still brokenhearted about that one to this day, but soon enough, I'll get over it. Best NBA player was Stephen Curry of the Golden State Warriors. Best NFL player, Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers. Best Major League Baseball player, that also went to Shohei Ohtani of the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Best college athlete, the best male college athlete was Bryce Young of Alabama football. Best female college athlete went to Jocelyn Allo of Oklahoma softball. Best MMA fighter was Charles Oliveira. The sports humanitarian team of the year was the Denver Broncos. And then the special awards, the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage going to Vitaly Klitschko, the mayor of Ukraine. Of course, with the ongoing crisis in Ukraine, the war down there. The Pat Tillman Award for Service going to Gretchen Evans. The Muhammad Ali Sports Humanitarian Award went to Albert Pujols. And the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance, the legendary Dick Vitale. And let me just say this. Go out of your way to watch Dick Vitale's speech. I did so last night. And
amazing and powerful. Yeah.
Ranks right up there.
I mean, when it comes to the Jimmy V Award, I don't know what it is, but you get the most powerful speeches of all. Stuart Scott,
amen.
Robin Roberts,
amen.
Dick Vitale.
Amen.
I mean, those are the ones that you know, because those are the ones that they replay all the time. But the thing is, those speeches are so powerful and impactful that those are the ones that stand the test of time more than any others. You know, after Jim Valvano got it for, and oddly enough, his was because he got the Arthur Ashe for Courage, I believe. if I remember correctly.
I'll have to look into that.
I think Jim Valvano got the Arthur Ashe Award first, and that led to his world famous "Don't give up, don't ever give up." Yes, it was. I can confirm it. He actually got it. He was the first recipient in 1993. He was the first recipient of the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage. So yes, it was Jim Valvano. That led to the world famous "Don't give up, don't ever give up" speech. So that's how that happened. So it was unbelievable what they did. Yeah, and that award was presented first to Kei Yao in 2007. But like we said, there was so many different powerful ones that they did. But but I think the one speech that really brought it home for all of us literally was Stuart Scott in 2014.
Absolutely.
When Stu Scott won that award and did his speech, I mean, you could hear a pin drop, man. And you saw he eloquently did it in such a way where you're just like, oh my God. And you couldn't believe it. You were just like, wow. And then Craig Sager in 2016, his speech was amazing. And then of course for you, Anthony, as a Buffalo Bill fan, Jim Kelly getting it in 2018.
Sir.
And then, like you said, Dick Vitale in 2022. I mean, it's yeah, there there is no there's no other award that you can really say, and like you said, go out of your way to do it, go out of your way to get it. It's gonna put a lump in your throat. It's gonna strain your vocal cords because you're gonna try your damnedest not to cry, but you're probably gonna cry because there was a couple of tears that I was shedding for Dick Vitale last night, and I'll openly admit that. But it was powerful, man. This whole night was amazing. This whole event was amazing. Um, yeah, there's really nothing more to add. I mean, I know it's not my turn, but yeah, go out of your way.
No, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
go ahead.
So I'll give you my quick thoughts on all the winners there. Well, not all the winners because I don't follow all the sports, but the only there are a couple that I'm a little bit questionable about. The best play award, with all due respect to Megan Rapinoe, I thought that Justin Tucker's 66-yard field goal should have won that. I mean, the way that went down, I think it should have gone to that. And the other one I'm a little iffy about, the best team. I mean, yes, the Golden State Warriors. I mean, I know they went through a lot. I mean, Curry being injured, and of course, especially the Klay Thompson injury, and of course, the hard times year of 2020, when they had the worst record, and coming back to win the NBA championship, albeit at the expense of Michael Bullock's Boston Celtics last month. But for me personally, I kind of felt it should have gone, and I'm not saying this to make MF happy or anything. I'm just being the man who tells it like it is. I kind of felt the Atlanta Braves should have won it. I mean, going into last year's playoffs, nobody gave that team a chance. I didn't even give them a snowball's chance. I thought they could get out of the division series against Milwaukee, yes. But when they were going up against the Dodgers, I was like, yeah, there's no way they're beating them. But then somehow, some way they did. And then they went on to the World Series, beat another team that we didn't think they could beat, but somehow they did, beat the Houston Astros, won the World Series. At the trade deadline, their chances of winning the World Series was 0.3%. And then it was 0.1%, I believe, going into the postseason. And yet enough, they defied the odds and won the World Series. I kind of felt like they should have won that award. But, you know, the Golden State Warriors, that would have been my other choice because of what they went through as well. So, best game, of course, it's Buffalo and Kansas City. The divisional game where I damn near lost my voice that night because of all those screaming Anthony Florio moments. And MF had a few moments in there as well. He let out a few O's on top of it. I mean, near the end there. But and then our legendary, you know, when I would say fires, when Mahomes threw the winner to Kelsey, I was like, he fires for the end zone. And then MF just yells out, touchdown. And I say, touchdown, Kansas City. Chiefs win it. And in the whole 9 yards. I mean, I don't know if you're going to ever see a better game like that if you live to be 100 years old, man. I mean, because that's a game that MF and I will never, ever forget. That will never leave our hearts for as long as we live. And it gets us excited about the upcoming NFL season, which we'll be previewing next month, come August 25th, as part of our season finale of TXN Sports World before we transition into TXN Sports World College Football Thursday on September 1st, and then NFL Saturday on September 10th. So circle those dates on your calendar if you haven't already. But NFL player, I mean, you could have shopped around. You could have made an argument for anybody, but they gave it to Aaron Rodgers. I mean, you can't go wrong with that. Shohei Ohtani in baseball, absolutely. NBA, Stephen Curry, with what he did for Golden State, and of course winning that record award when he surpassed the legendary Ray Allen for the most three-pointers made in the history of the NBA, and Cooper Kupp, that incredible performance in the Super Bowl against Cincinnati. One of the main reasons why they won the Super Bowl 2 years in a row that we had literally the home team winning. Vitaly Klitschko with the Arthur Ashe Award for courage. The crisis in Ukraine, the war in Ukraine, and he's been a big part of that, big part of the relief efforts down there. And special moment there, a beautiful video, a beautiful but disturbing video at the same time. Bryce Young, with the year he had for Alabama football. Connor McDavid in the NHL, what can you say? I mean, he just gets better and better and better every year. And that young man's going to be around for a long damn time. And the longer he's around, the better the Edmonton Oilers are going to be. Cody Rhodes, when he returned at WrestleMania, I mean, we all had a hunch it was going to be him. And they pulled it off perfectly, saving it for WrestleMania. The whole Seth Rollins angle, we all remember how that went down. And when you heard that music, that was hands down the biggest pop of 2022. Ranks right up there with the epic CM Punk pop of last summer in his hometown of Chicago when he returned to wrestling after 7 years on that second episode of Rampage. And that was a special moment. You could have made an argument for any of the other moments. I mean, Big E winning the WWE Championship last September when he cashed in Money in the Bank. You could have made an argument for The Undertaker going into the Hall of Fame. Bullock voted for that, of course, but, you know, to no avail. Klay Thompson, well deserving of the comeback athlete after everything he went through with all those injuries. And it was highly doubtful that he was going to come back, but somehow he did, and more power to him. And those were really the only awards I really wanted to address. And congratulations to all the winners. And of course, Dick Vitale. What can you say? I mean, that's going to rank up there as one of the greatest speeches of all time. Like MF said, right up there with Stuart Scott and Robin Roberts and and all the other legendary speeches. The Jimmy V speech, obviously, that will forever be the greatest. But Dickie V's right up there with it. So congratulations to all the winners. Well deserved. And we'll wait and see what happens next year. So not much more to say. MF, take it home with your standout awards and thoughts on last night's ESPYs. MF, are you there?
I sure am. As far as the ESPYs go, look, there's really not much to talk about. You even brought about it. Best male athlete is definitely Shohei Ohtani. I'm not gonna even argue that. Best female, I easily could give it to Katie Ledecky, even though I think Candace Parker also deserves the award. Though I think she definitely could do it. Breakthrough athlete, you know what? I gotta say it. Ja Morant. I'm sorry. I just feel like Ja Morant deserves that award. I think he got robbed last night more than anything else. Comeback player, yes, I'll give it to Clay. No argument there. Caleb Dressel, best male Olympian, best female Olympian, Katie Ledecky. I'm not arguing that. Best male college athlete, Bryce Young, yes. Best female, yeah, I'm gonna give it to Jocelyn as well, no doubt about it. Best team, I disagree with that. Yes, you could say an argument for the Atlanta Braves. One other, Colorado Avalanche. How the heck do you rob them from the Stanley Cup? I mean, that was absolutely atrocious. And I know a lot of other people were talking about, what about the Oklahoma Sooners softball team that won the College World Series? So, I mean, you got that. I definitely believe that. Championship moment. Yes, I don't mind Cooper Kupp, but Juliana Pena should have won it. When she beats Amanda Nunes at UFC 269, and that was the biggest upset because nobody had her winning that? Nah, man, she should have won that award. Best game, I'm not even arguing that one. There is no arguments from me. That is literally, and yes, I will openly admit it, Kansas City versus Buffalo was the game of the year. Hands down, no debate. It's over on that one. For best play, yes, I could talk about the Tucker field goal, but if you actually saw the wonder goal by Megan Rapinoe, Anthony, you would understand why why they won that award. So no, I got no arguments with that one. Megan Rapinoe deserves it. Record-breaking moment, yes, Steph Curry deserves it. Best NFL player, I got to go Aaron Rodgers. I'm sorry. I think Cooper Kupp does not deserve that award. I don't think so. I disagree with that one. Shohei Ohtani for best MLB player, no doubt about that. Best NHL player should have been Austin Matthews. I'm sorry. I know Connor McDavid got the award. It should have been Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews won the MVP. He should have won the award. Best NBA player. Wow, that's tough. I'll give it to Steph Curry. I don't think that's any argument there. For best WNBA player, Candace Parker, no argument on that one. Best soccer player international, Kylian Mbappe. Yes, I agree. I do believe he definitely deserves the award, even though I could make an argument for Kevin De Bruyne from Man City because of him being responsible for winning the English Premier League this year. And you could even give it to Karim Benzema because of the fact that he helped Real Madrid win the Champions League as well. So you got that one. The others I'm not even going to talk about because I don't really get into those sports. Best boxer, Tyson Fury, no argument. Definitely the right call. You definitely got the right guy. I'm not even going to go with that one. best MMA fighter, I'm also good with Charles Oliveira, especially after what he did. I'm not even arguing on that one. Best WWE moment was Cody Rhodes getting his return at WrestleMania. I don't got an argument with that. I got no problem with that at all. The only other that you could probably say is Roman Reigns unifying the WWE and Universal Championships at WrestleMania. Well, other than that, congratulations to all the winners on the ESPYs, and Anthony, it's back to you.
All right. And with that, that will put the bow on this edition of TXN Sports World. We want to thank you all so very much for tuning in as always. We'll be back with you tomorrow night at this time, 11 p.m. Eastern, over on MF's channel, Braves Fan 95, for another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, as it will be our reviews of Friday Night SmackDown and AEW Rampage as always. And then MF will have the Mikey's Mindset, and he's got a loaded Mikey's Mindset for you. He's going to have the results of the RWA Legacy event, and he will also preview the Ring of Honor Death Before Dishonor pay-per-view that goes down this Saturday night at the Songus Arena in Lowell, Massachusetts. So he'll have the preview. He'll run down the card for that. Monday night, we got Ridiculously Raw as we kick off SummerSlam week right here on the Tone 25. As it will be, we will review the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw from the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, New York City. The Mysterios against the Judgment Day, the celebration of Rey Mysterio's 20th anniversary. Yes, there will be Logan Paul, unfortunately, but, we're going to have to deal with it. But, it is what it is. And then Tony's take on Impact Wrestling and NXT Level Up, as always. Wednesday Night Madness. That'll be NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, as always. MF will have that on Braves Fan 95 as well. And working on a couple of stories for next week. Couple of stories. I got to give credit to Derek Ferreira. I wanted to save them for next week, so this way we would have at least something for next week's show. Kirby Smart, the head coach of the national champion, college football playoff national champion, Maine and Georgia Bulldogs, he's staying. He signed an extension. And on top of that, Kyler Murray, the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals, he signed an extension. And then MF will have his latest Big Three basketball recap, and then we'll see what else is on the pipeline, or else it's going to be an open and short show next week. And then Cerebral Smack Talk as always, and that's it. So until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk over on the MF channel, Brace Bay 95 at 11 p.m. tomorrow night, following Rampage. Anthony Florio here for good old MF Michael Fletcher, and in spirit, Michael Bullock and the First Lady Edie Woodson. You know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah, throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Have a blessed Friday, and until tomorrow night for the Cerebral Smack Talk, you've been watching TXN Sports World right here on the Tone 25 on YouTube and Streamer.com. For everybody who has been a part of this one, for now, Anthony Florio. So long. Bye, everybody. Bye.